now we're going to get into 1973, which we're going to look at Space Race by Edgar Gomez, who is the creator of this online version. So we just want to say thank you to him for making that possible. Again, this is not a perfect version. It is not the original, but it was the best approximation I could find that enabled me to play it in a somewhat accurate capacity. This one is unfortunately, I really wish I'd been able to find one that I could actually play that didn't have quite as many graphic updates as this one has had. The original, actually, let me go ahead and pull this up so that you can see. The original had much more Pong-esque graphics, and so the game I'm going to be playing is not a true representation. It's as close as I could get. So let me pull this up. So you can see it. You can see an example here. Now it was a two-player game, so you both would race to the end to try and get through all the little asteroids going by. Now this was the second major entry from Atari. It was also in the arcade format, which that's going to be the case for the next few years. It was originally called Astro Race. Of course, like I already said, it was a two-player competition. Your goal was to dodge the asteroids, and it was the first racing game in space. The controls were very simple. It was just basically moving forward and back to try to avoid the asteroids. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up and get one play through. Now this one, it is still two-player. So I am going to be controlling both ships. This one actually does have audio as well, which, sure, why not? Now obviously the graphics are quite a bit upgraded from what you would normally see from an Atari arcade game from the 70s. So a little bit of grace is needed on the graphics here. But you do get the idea as far as what the goal of the game is. It is virtually identical. Now, instead of the detail of little asteroids and missiles going across, they were just those white specks, as you saw in the little shot that I brought up earlier. And you just kind of work your way through these little obstacles passing through the screen. I don't know if, there we go. Player 2 wins, which was that was WASD. So player 1 was up, down, left, right, and player 2 was WASD, which was a little bit actually not as difficult as I thought it was going to be to play two at one time. That wasn't so bad. Could definitely have been worse. Now this one was a commercial flop. It did not do well. It was not seen as a very big success. Now again, I'm going to go back here when talking about it just to look at the visual accuracy of the original game. So I obviously see that it was very simple graphics, similar to Pong in terms of it's just white lines and white dots. There is the comparatively more intricate spaceship design, which was a step up from the graphic capacity of Pong. While the game was not a hit, it did kind of inspire Atari to continue experimenting because they felt that they had really kind of captured something of an inspiration to really throw themselves out there, even if the game's not going to do incredibly well, which this one did not. But to keep on experimenting and to keep on trying new things. As I said, it was the first space racing game, so that was unique in its own right. Now, it did spawn a few clones. There was a company called Taito that made a game called Astro Race. So very similar, obviously heavily inspired, and it was quite similar gameplay. That was made by Taito out of Japan. And that's going to pretty much wrap up my coverage on Space Race from 1973. Now, if I get a chance, I may go back and get some additional information on other games in 1973, but this was the one that kind of caught my eye the most. I'm not always going to play or pick the most popular game of each year. In some cases, if it's a game that I just am interested in, or perhaps I've wanted to play and never have, or something, I don't know, just some, if there's an X factor that jumps out to me, then I may watch or play that game instead, even if it wasn't the biggest game of that year.